Hi everybody, I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to bonus weather video number 1 for this week. And it's funny, I sort of came up with this idea on the fly as we were doing the daily weather update when we talked about the sunrise and the sunset. And the word equinox means equal night, equal day, if you will. And so in theory, the time elapsed between the sunrise and sunset and the time elapsed between the sunset and the sunrise should be equal on that date, but they're not, and there's a good reason why they're not, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me start off by showing you a little table here. And today the sunrise was at 7:29 a.m. and the sunset was at 7:20 p.m. So we had 11 hours and 51 minutes from sunrise to sunset. And we will have 12 hours and 9 minutes, or I guess we did earlier today, 12 hours and 9 minutes from the sunset to the sunrise. And then you can see the sunrise getting earlier each day and the sunset getting later each day. And by Friday, March 15th, the Ides of March, right? The sunrise and the sunset will be identical except for the AM and the PM, which means that the time elapsed between the sunrise and sunset will be the same as sunset to sunrise at 12 hours. But the vernal equinox, when the sun is directly overhead at the equator, does not occur until March 19th at 11:06 p.m., which means the first full day of spring is actually March 20th, okay, which is, let's see, today is the 11th, so that's 9 days from now, so more than a week out. And on that actual date, the sun will come up at 7:17 and set at 7:28, and so we will have 12 hours and 11 minutes from sunrise to sunset and only 11 hours and 49 minutes from sunset to sunrise. So what the heck is going on here? All right, so we have our atmosphere to thank for this. And so let's put a little Earth up there, and here's our atmosphere. Now this is not drawn to scale, okay? The atmosphere is actually very thin. In fact, I think I remember reading an illustration that the atmosphere is about the distance from New York to Boston. Okay, that's how thin it is compared to the Earth itself. But I'm trying to make a point here, and so I have to make it a little bit thicker than it actually is. And let's put a little man or a man there on the top of the world. Could be just as easily be a woman. And here is our sun. And let's just imagine that the rays are coming out from the sun, and at this particular point in time, the sun's rays are going right over top of the head of this little man or woman, and so the little man or woman does not see any light from the sun, okay? Which would be the case on March 15th if we didn't have an atmosphere. But we do. And so what happens is the light comes in from the sun, and as soon as it hits the atmosphere, it is refracted or bent, and it ends up hitting the eyeballs of that little man or woman there on the top of the world. So we actually see sunlight before we're entitled to, if you will, because of the atmosphere. So we get bonus time on the front end, and we also get bonus time on the back end. When the sun's going down, if we didn't have an atmosphere, it would disappear sooner, but because we do, we have daylight for a few extra minutes on the back end of the day as well. So when you add it all up, we actually, I guess in the case of this time around, we get about a bonus 10 or 11 minutes between sunrise and sunset. And you all realize that as soon as the sun sets, it doesn't immediately get black, that you have that period of twilight that occurs. But again, the official definition, if we didn't have an atmosphere, would be the exact same amount of time between sunrise and sunset and sunrise, but it actually occurs several days earlier because of this effect that I'm trying to illustrate here. So we thank our atmosphere for that little bonus light time that we get. All right, that is bonus weather video number 1 for this week. The next one will be coming up on Wednesday, and the next daily weather update will be coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow it'll probably be in a slightly different form because I will be traveling up to Chapel Hill for some post-surgery checks, and so I will do what I can to get that out on time. It just may look a little different than it normally does. So, all right, that's it for now, folks. You all have a wonderful Monday evening, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. See you later.